Hello, today I'll be talking about a study titled Let's Go Shopping Virtual Reality as a Tier 3 Intervention for Students with Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities. This research explores how VR can be used to teach practical life skills, specifically looking at grocery shopping in this article for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities, or IDD. Students with IDD often face challenges with adaptive functioning, which includes everyday tasks like self-care, managing routines, and navigating community spaces. Like everyone, they have specific strengths and challenges. This article specifically highlights strengths such as completing laundry, following directions, and handling basic academics. However, they do struggle with challenges such as organization, trying new activities, and social awareness. Traditionally, community-based learning opportunities have been limited, which makes consistent practice difficult. And I really think this is where VR can come into play and can be a really handy tool for teaching these skills to these individuals. So the purpose of the study had three main goals. The first goal was to address gaps in research on technology-based interventions for students with IDD. Second was to evaluate whether VR is a feasible and viable learning tool. And third was to explore how school personnel like interventionists and special education teachers can expand their roles using technology. The focus of this study was on grocery shopping skills, including things such as reading a list, locating items, and navigating store aisles. All skills that are critical for all students preparing for life after high school. The participant of the study was an 18-year-old white male with IDD. His IQ was a 57 as measured by the WISC. He was placed in a center-based program. His transition goals focused on self-care skills like hygiene, basic cooking, and laundry. And during the parent interview portion of the study, the participant's mother did note that community participation was minimal, but he did enjoy being around others and enjoyed attending school. As far as the study settings go, this study took place across two settings. The virtual sessions took place in a School of Engineering lab, utilizing an HTC Vive headset and some handheld controllers. And then the real world setting part took place in a local grocery store nearby the participant's home. There were 6 VR sessions, and these sessions were completed over the span of 2 days. Intervention approach used multiple strategies such as errorless learning, multimodal instruction, repeated practice, and reinforcement. There was a mastery criterion of 80% that was required to progress to the next lesson, and scaffolds were individualized for the participants' abilities. There were 5 different VR features, including 3D, dynamic imaging, user control, inside-out perspective, and advanced sensory feedback. And one important note was that during this study, the instructor was flexible and adjusted lessons in real time to keep the participant comfortable, successful, and motivated. There was a strong collaboration with the participant's mother throughout these sessions as well. So in regards to the first question, the participants' accuracy increased from 33% at pretest to nearly 80% during the intervention, and then to 90% at post-test, showing that there was steady learning over time that was supported by repeated practice, scaffolds, prompts, and positive reinforcement. As far as the second research question, during the first real-world grocery session, the participant scored 71% accuracy, and in subsequent sessions achieved 100% accuracy. Overall, performance improved by about 10.5% when moving from VR to the physical store, showing that the skills successfully transferred to real-life settings. Key highlights of this study demonstrates that VR can provide safe, guided, motivating practice, repetition with reinforcement, and scaffolding individualized learning. For personal reflection, post-secondary transition is is my passion, specifically looking at um, supporting students in rural areas. Um, the rural setting has its own unique challenges and obstacles, one of those being um, lack of transportation infrastructure, and then just the geographic distance in between different areas or centers for supports for these individuals. And so I think VR here can be a real game changer, specifically for supporting our individuals with disabilities in rural settings by giving them these opportunities to practice that they may not have as much of a chance to do or opportunity to do in their usual settings. I would love, and the researchers also note this at the end of the article, that it was limited, and so future research would be needed to be done to expand this across geographic settings and across, multiple individuals and across different disabilities. One specific disability I would love to see this um, trialed with is with individuals with autism spectrum disorder, looking at how we can better help them to develop their social skills um, and work-based learning skills. So overall, I really enjoyed this article, and I'm excited to see what could come of it. And then here's my article reference. Thank you.